I was born April 1st, 1997. I originally grew up in Oyster Bay, New York. It's kind of like a lower class neighborhood, you know. I lived in a small apartment with like 4 people. Just me, my brother, my parents. Some parts of Oyster Bay are really nice, you know. Like if you go up the hills, you know, they're nicer houses. But then like downtown, like when you see all the stores and you see the buildings above it, those are actually people living there. Especially Spanish people, just like 3 people in one little apartment. And then if you go a little bit like away from Oyster Bay, there's projects. When you're driving to the beach and you're going like going towards the school and the school's right in front of you, on the right, like before the school, that's all projects. But eventually we left there because it was way too small. My mom didn't like it. It was just us in a big ass house, really big house. A little history lesson on El Salvador. There was like a civil war going on, and they were basically like taking like the youngest like men to go in the war, and if they didn't want to join, they'd kill them. So my grandpa was like, "Listen, we gotta send you like to the United States. Like, we don't care. You have to get over there. You gotta get out of here." So he was the first one to come over here. He came over here like 16 years old in like 82. You kind of have to imagine like what you go through. Like, you know, 16 years old, leaving your country to go somewhere else you completely don't know. He brought my mom and my brother over in 96. Yeah, some borders are, some countries are honestly lenient with it. They're okay with it. But when you get to Mexico and you come over here, you gotta like really risk that shit. I didn't learn that from my parents. I learned that from my cousin. His name is Wilbur. They had him. They just got to Mexico, and they basically drove him all the way north. He was in a town for like maybe 3 hours the most, and they told him, "All right, all of you guys gotta run." And they had to like hide in like bushes and stuff. They had to hide. Eventually, like they had to go across the river. And people who aren't like, you have to think, there's people who aren't fit enough to like keep running, or like too weak or too old, they leave them behind. He said eventually one point like they were hiding, like before they even crossed, like the helicopter for Border Patrol like just passed by. He was in Dallas, and then the people who were bringing him over, they called my cousin. They're like, "Listen, like we already have him. Like he's gonna be in New York." They went to go pick him up in the Bronx at like 3 a.m. It was weird. My cousin would go live with his brother, and his brother would just be working or, you know, doing something out with his girlfriend or something. So that would leave like, you know, a 15-year-old kid go to school. You know, like he wouldn't just go back home if he has no. If you have no supervision, you're gonna go fuck around, especially in Oyster Bay. And if if you're Spanish and you're like, you know, straight over the border, you come in, you know, to this town, people are gonna show you some stuff. First, when he came like when he started living in my house. I didn't really think much of it, but eventually, like, I started chilling with him more because, you know, he seemed chill. He would come home. He had a bottle of Ciroc just in his room that his like friends bought him or something. He's like, "Yo, David, like, drink this with me." And I'm like, "Word." Honestly, the first time I drank, I hated it. And then eventually, like when I would hang out with him in his room. He was like, he packed a bowl, and I'm like, "Yo, what is that?" He said like, "Oh, it's weed, it's bud." I'm like, "Word." And I was curious at that point. I was like, I tried it. I didn't feel shit. You know, I kept smoking after that because, you know, I could, like, in that little room. I would get high as fuck. I was chilling with him a lot more often because, you know, I was smoking with him, and he would get me into other shit. He'd be like, "Yo, like, let's go out to here." We would go out to Glen Cove just to chill with his friends. His friends were crazy. And then he was like, "Yo, David, like, you trying to make some money?" I'm like, "Yeah, like a 13-year-old, 14-year-old trying to make some money." I'm like, "Down. Like, what do I have to do?" And he was like, "Yo, we're going out to Queens. I just need you to hold something for me." And I'm like, "All right." He gives me a black bag, like black, like plastic shopping bag. And like it's kind of like tied up. And inside of it is like a bunch of smaller baggies. And like some were capsules, I think. And he was like, "Yo, every time I ask you, like, give me a bag of your capsules, just give it to me." So I'm like, "All right." So, you know, I'm just reaching, like, you know, secretly in my pocket, you know, just give it to him, like dap him up or something. And, you know, I guess you sell it. When I first started, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I'm just in this for the money. But then eventually I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm helping this dude sling crack. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? So now that I look back at it, it was very fucked up for him to do, make a 13-year-old do. Yeah. But honestly, like, at that age, I wasn't really scared of the consequences. I was like, I'm making money. He would give me $100 like each time, and like, yo, for 13 years old, that's pretty good money. I'm pretty sure I only did it for like 2-3 weeks, and then I was like, nah, like I'm done. Like, I got enough money. Like, I'm good. So I was with my cousin that was a gang member. Before he got sent away, we were in Oyster Bay by the projects. And we were just walking back to his house. And there was some guys who were like, yo, like what's good? Like, to my cousin. I guess they just had some beef with him. And, like, one of them had a bat. And, like, my cousin, like, just went up to him. One of them had, like, a gun. Like, legit. It was, like, I'm pretty sure it was, like, a small gun. And, he fired some shots. One of them did hit my leg. And then I just remember falling. And, like, I looked at my leg and it was, like, I saw that my jeans were ripped and, like, there was, like, blood. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And then, I guess those dudes, they realized, like, yo, we just shot a kid. Like, let's get the fuck out of here. So they left. My cousin comes over and I'm like, yo, you're good. Like, don't worry. Like, it's all good. Like, it's like, what do you feel? Like, you feel fine? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. It's like, it's weird. Like, my leg's really hot. And he's like, yo, it's all good. So, like, he rushes me to his house. He's like, yo, like, I need you to, like be tough for a second. I'm like, all right. And he legit pulled it out himself. I guess it didn't go that deep, but, like, he pulled it out himself. And he was like, yo, you good? Like, you fine? It's like, you don't feel anything? Like, you're not hurt? I think he gave me a shot or something. Like, that's why I didn't feel anything. He gave me a shot. He stopped the bleeding, whatever. And he's like, all right, we gotta get you to a hospital just to get stitches or whatever. So we go to the hospital, get patched up. And, like, I think they just ended up telling him, like, it was a cut. Like, it's not really like they don't want to tell him, like, it's a bullet wound. I don't feel no different. It's just something that happened. I guess you could say it was, like, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. But, like, all those people who come over, like, look at my dad. All those people who come over, they're either forced to come here or they have to come here to, like, provide for their families back there because they're way too poor over there. So, you know, my dad came over here. He honestly, he came from nothing. Like, that's why I respect my dad so much. He, like, came from nothing, and, like, he's the only one in our family to have, like, we own a house. That's impressive to come from nothing and then come to buy a house. That's why I want to go more into into school. I want to, like, you know, start thinking about going to other colleges, get my grades up, you know, so I don't have to, like, have my dad, because he's been working at Mario's for 30 years. He's 55. Like, the most I want him there for is 5 more years. Then I just want to pay off the house, have him chill, send him and my mom back to El Salvador. Yeah, but I'm, like, the only one in my family, my entire family, that could do that.